Redwoods by Jason Chin. The coast redwoods are among the oldest trees in the world. Their ancestors lived about 165 million years ago during the Jurassic period. I notice the boy is going on the F train, but then he sees dinosaurs in the window. One tree can live for more than 2,000 years, which means there are trees alive today that first sprouted during the Roman Empire. These men look like they came from the Roman Empire. They don't look like they would be on a subway train in New York City. Redwoods have shallow root systems that travel more than 100 feet from the tree. They help the tree stand and they need all the help they can get because look at those trees, look at the roots. They are the tallest living thing on the planet. Redwoods regularly grow to be more than 200 feet tall. I am 5 feet. The trees are more than 200 feet. A redwood trunk can be 29 feet in diameter at its base. That's so wide that a tunnel can be cut in it, big enough for a car to drive through. Amazingly, such a tall tree starts from a seed about the size of a tomato seed. A 1-inch long cone that houses the seed falls to the ground, and if the conditions are right, the tree will sprout. With enough light and water, a redwood sapling can grow fast, up to 2 feet per year. Redwoods also grow from other redwoods. When a tree falls or is cut down, new trees can sprout from big round masses along its trunk called burls. Often, several trees will grow from the burls on one stump. If you see a ring of redwoods in the forest, they probably all sprouted from the same stump. One reason that redwoods are able to live for so long and grow to be so tall is that they are very good at defending themselves. Their wood contains a lot of tannin, a chemical that protects them from fungal infections and insect infestations. Redwoods are also well suited to live through fire. If there is a fire, If there is a fire, their extremely thick bark shields them from the heat, just like the heat-resistant tiles on a space shuttle. Their branches don't start until very high up, 200 feet in some cases, which also helps protect them from fire, since most forest fires can't reach their needles. Even if a fire penetrates a redwood's bark, the tree can still live. In some cases, a huge portion of the center of the trunk has been burned out, but the tree keeps on growing. In many ways, fires actually help redwoods by clearing out other plants that would otherwise compete for resources like water or soil. Coast redwoods need a lot of water to grow as tall as they do, and the area in Northern California where they live is perfect. It's a rainforest. The air is cool and damp, and the land is often covered in a thick fog. It takes a long time for water to travel all the way from the roots to the top of a redwood, and the fog helps the trees by preventing them from losing moisture to evaporation. In addition, the needles of a redwood can absorb moisture straight from the air. In the summer, when there is much less rainfall, redwoods have an ingenious way of collecting water. They make their own rain. When the fog rolls in, it condenses on the redwood's needles, and whatever moisture isn't absorbed then falls to the ground to be soaked up by the tree's roots. Other plants that live at the base of a redwood tree use this artificial rain as well. So not only do the redwoods water themselves, they water all the plants around them. Wow, that is so cool. The branches of a redwood are called the crown or canopy and start very high up the trunk. To study the redwood crowns, scientists have to climb into them, and this is not easy. Because the trees are so tall, researchers use a bow and arrow to launch a rope over the branches. When the rope is secure, they can pull themselves up. It is very dangerous work. When the needles fall off of a redwood, they decay and turn into soil. And redwoods are so big that this soil often collects in the trees themselves. Soil that collects in the branches of a tree or in the crevices on its trunk provides a home for other plants. Plants that grow on redwoods are called, look at that, epiphytes. The most common epiphytes found in redwoods are ferns. In one tree, researchers found a mass of ferns weighing more than 1,600 pounds. That's heavier than a full-grown polar bear. Ferns are not the only plants that make their homes in redwoods. Mosses, fungi, bushes, and even trees grow in the redwood canopy. Researchers have found a wide variety of trees high above the ground, including hemlocks, spruces, firs, oaks, and California bays. In one redwood, researchers found a California bay tree growing out of a knothole over 300 feet from the ground. In addition to plant life, scientists have found many animals living in the redwood canopy, including flying squirrels, beetles, earthworms, centipedes, spiders, salamanders, and yellow banana slugs. Some animals, like red tree voles, live their whole lives in the treetops and never see the ground. Many birds live in the tops of redwoods, including bald eagles, ospreys, and woodpeckers. The marbled murrelet and the northern spotted owl live almost exclusively in the oldest redwood trees and are both endangered species. When a redwood is injured, the tree will often sprout new trunks that look like miniature versions of the tree itself. If a branch is damaged, a new trunk will grow straight up from the top of the damaged branch. Sometimes more than one new trunk will sprout. Researchers found one tree with more than 200 reiterated trunks in it. There was a forest of redwoods growing atop a single tree. The crown of a redwood can be very complex. As the tree grows, its main branches and the branches of its new trunks crisscross and run into each other, forming a maze of growth. The crown can become so dense that from its interior, you can't see the ground or the sky. Researchers have even gotten lost while exploring the crown. The largest of all redwoods are in a class of their own called titans. For a long time, the record holder for the tallest tree in the world was the stratosphere giant, measuring a whopping 370 feet. But that record was broken in the summer of 2006 when researchers discovered Hyperion, a giant coast redwood rising 379.1 feet from the ground, and it's still growing. That's 6 stories taller than the Statue of Liberty. It's taller than a 30-story skyscraper. It's so tall that if it were introduced to a city skyline, it would fit right in. What just happened? The boy left his redwood book on the bench. The girl came and picked it up. Now the girl is transforming her world into the world of her book. I hope that you get to find a book that you can get cozy and read with, and that you get lost in it and transform your world into the world of your book. You can check out the books in our library, or maybe you have one at home.